we have a backup match. All right, let's get one more in there. We have Kyle Veronda and Zach Allen lined up. They were one table behind. These two players potentially also playing a win-in. I'm not sure on tiebreakers, but let's go ahead and get that going.
We got quite the matchup, right?
Yeah, it looks like we do. So this is on a replay from this round. On the other table, Kyle Veronda on Burn versus Zach Allen on Jeskai Days Undoing. Zach Allen came close yesterday, losing in round 8 to get knocked out of top 8 contention. Here we are today in Legacy. And his Jeskai Days Undoing deck. We'll see how it goes. When we get a chance between games, we'll show you their deck lists. But for now, just enjoy how things play out. Burn versus Jeskai Days Undoing.
Yeah, I'm looking at deck lists right now on media, and it looks to be pretty straightforward. Burn has 2 copies of Sulfuric Vortex, which is of course a big card in all the control matchups most of the time. But now the prismatic ending has been printed. It's, I guess, not as good as it used to be, but overall,
Right.
I just love watching Burn. Like Burn is such it's maybe the most honest deck in the entire format. That's the thing.
Yeah, we'll see. So Zach Allen fetches a basic island right off the bat, and that's gotta be disappointing for Kyle, as I believe there's a Price of Progress in hand already.
Is this a
And
turn one brainstorm or no? This must be a turn 2 brainstorm, right?
no, it's turn 1.
It's end of turn brainstorm. Okay.
Yeah. And then the Ponder, I wonder if Zach Allen's looking for a land here.
It's straight back. Yeah, these are the motions of somebody who hasn't found a second land yet.
Now, I frequently said this in both formats, Modern and Legacy, that when you're playing Burn, opening on a Burn spell is never ideal. I really want to see a creature because these Burn spells are live forever. The creatures are live for a limited amount of time. And does Zach Allen have a land? Okay, Plains.
You're right. The very best thing you can play on the first turn is going to be Swift Spear or Goblin Guide or something, because that's going to represent a lot more damage, whereas your burn spells, they don't scale at all. They deal the same amount of damage at every single point in the game, but the creatures, this is where I think the creatures really is where it's at for Burn to close out games that it otherwise probably wouldn't have a chance of taking.
Yeah. So, okay, Kyle, what do we got here? Okay.
More damage straight to your face, down to 13.
I mean, if Price of Progress wasn't a blank, this would be more promising. But as it is, in fact, there's 2 Price of Progress in hand. And those are doing a grand total of nothing right now.
I mean, if you can get to a point where they start dealing like 4 damage, you feel okay. But I don't really think that's where we're gonna get in this game.
Now, let's take a quick look here. Zach Allen's deck list has 4 islands and 2 plains and a mountain. So yeah, shouldn't have any trouble operating without
the thing is, it's still a control deck after all that doesn't really like threaten to kill you or like, establish a lock like counterbalance. So eventually Burn is gonna have overwhelming forces almost, I want to say. The thing is, if Zach ever gets to a point where he gets to do his thing, right, the Days Undoing combo where he reduce Burn down to 0 cards or 1 card in hand, that's one way to do it. The thing on the other hand though, Kyle is basically doing that all by himself, going down to 0 cards.
Yeah, sure.
So you even get to a point where Days Undoing is even like a draw spell for Kyle. If he's like Hellbent, and you're like, oh sweet, at least I'm gonna have 1 more card now.
Even if Zach Allen draws fetch lands, that's at least something for Kyle to work with. Here is another Lava Spike. And it looks like, I believe the rest of the hand is Mountain double Price of Progress.
Yeah. From the control player side, what are you actually looking to force a foil here? Like, most of the time you would probably like force a foil one of the early creatures, but since we didn't really see that happen, in the first game, what are you trying to hit here with your forces, if you even keep them in hand?
I mean, I guess at this point, Sulfuric Vortex, other than that, it's just me whatever's lethal. Just me sitting around waiting.
Yeah, the thing with that though is I guess we don't know about the Sulfuric Vortex. That's a rather uncommon choice for the main deck.
Sure.
And there's always the danger of Exquisite Firecraft, which is not rare to be a 4 of in the deck. So if you're like gonna sit on your forces until you're down to like 4 life or something, and then they sit on the Firecrafts, like if
you're absolutely right about that. I remember when that got printed, that certainly made Miracles a little tougher to play. but then you just have to adjust and get used to it. And okay, here's another fetch land for Zach, which represents being at 5 life. And keep in mind, Kyle can, in an odd way, force Zach Allen to break all the fetch lands by casting Price of Progress. So Zach can't just commit all of them to the board and not worry about it, because they are worth a damage each, even when they function. Here is Narset, and there's Days Undoing in hand already.
Yeah, the slowest divination in the world. I guess you get some card selection.
It's more like a dig through time.
Yeah,
Just
but in
makes
this matchup, yeah, you're right. You're right. It's more like a dig through time. A slow one though.
Yeah, it is slow. No, I'll give you that. And expensive. Okay, a creature, finally. Oh no. Are we going to see
You know
Price of
what?
Progress just
Pros and
cast
cons, but actually, yeah, yeah.
as a prowess trigger?
I mean, you're gonna get 2 damage out of it.
Yeah, no, aim for 1. Okay.
I mean, this is scary for Zach. Like,
Yeah.
Zach is very
I mean,
far from ever closing out
yeah.
this game.
And Zach doesn't, well, I mean, Zach doesn't know that Kyle's holding Price of Progress, obviously. I don't know. If you're Zach, do you just run out Days Undoing here and just get rid of Kyle's 2 cards? I don't think so, but there's let's see what we got.
I mean,
Prismatic
you could
Ending.
reasonably put Kyle on at least 1 Price of Progress in hand, I would think.
Yeah.
I didn't fully follow the sequencing on the mana on the previous turn because if Kyle didn't do anything with his mana for a turn, you couldn't rule out quite a lot of things. What is that?
That's a Prismatic Ending, I believe.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that looks sweet. Okay. But what's your game plan here? Like I said, if you even if you Days Undoing at some point, you still have to close out the game before Kyle kills you, and that would mean that you draw a bunch of, like, I guess, forces to
Yeah.
stay alive.
Force of Negation is a nice pickup for Zach, because that's another ability to counter without losing any life. I almost think, like, Days Undoing may not be even worthwhile, as Zach's hand is pretty well filtered at this point.
I guess there's a world where you, like, Swords to Plowshares your own Hull Breachers, just to gain 3 life on
Sure.
them at some
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. I mean, I have swords my own creatures plenty of times playing Miracles, and here is I would kind of like to see this in combat, but here's a Price of Progress. Zach Allen will drop to 3 after fetching twice. Both players, yeah. Okay, so
I guess we have the Wandering Emperor in Zach's deck. Those are 2 copies, and that actually minuses to gain 2 life.
sure.
If you want to put that on screen, because I had to certainly read all of the abilities again. But but you gotta find a tapped creature first to do it. We got one of them.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to create our own tapped creatures. Kyle may occasionally present them. I'm sure this Price of Progress is an end step here. Although, well, maybe not. If attack. Yeah, okay. So Zach at 3.
We have Teferi in hand now. Like, we can
Oh,
pull, like, cute
even
moves.
does Zach have instant speed removal?
That
Yes, he
is,
does.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, he most certainly does. Okay. Well, congratulations, Kyle. You gain a life.
So I was gonna say with, like, Teferi, you can pull cute moves like Teferi, and then you Days Undoing on that draw step. So if they drew a sorcery, they have to shuffle it away and can't cast it.
That's nice. We'll see. And there is Teferi in play.
I guess you could try to, like, chain Days Undoings on their draw step and try to deny them of a couple of things, but not sure where you're gonna get with that in the long run. Now the evil pixel gremlin has struck again, and I can
Yeah.
barely see the battlefield.
Yeah. So just in the last about 5 seconds, Julian and I's feed has completely blown up, and we're now
To be fair, like, we can basically still tell what's going on, right? There's
yeah.
a back to basics Price of
Right.
Progress dealing 1
Yeah.
damage. That's the worst
Boy.
burn spell in the world, but at least it's a burn spell.
Yeah. So Zach falls to 2, gets the mountain in play, And
This
yeah,
first field that we see is not on the battlefield anymore, right? That was the one that was. Oh yeah, no, it's gone.
yeah, it's not there. All right, there's a new planeswalker. That's a Teferi that plussed, I think.
Okay,
A
and
and
we're
there's
gonna
the
do
Days
this
Undoing.
on, yeah, I guess
Yeah,
on the draw step. So yeah, it's really just actually no, we can't even play an instant here because the opponent has Teferi in play. So
right,
it's
right.
straight up like
Yeah,
nothing happens. We just like shuffle it back and pass the turn basically.
yeah. So Zach will get full fist of new cards, and Kyle will not.
It's really only 2 more damage. Like sudden shock would do it.
Sudden Shock would be perfect. I'll bet you any amount you want that there's not a copy of Sudden Shock in Kyle's deck.
Not too bad.
Yeah,
I still love the exquisite firecraft. I even played against it the other day.
yeah. No, that's a nice card. No copies here. This this is gonna be tough for.
Yeah, at this point, Zach is basically gonna sit back. But the thing is, Zach has to literally counter almost every single spell
Yeah,
in Kyle's deck at this point.
I mean you're right. I said like if Zach drew a hand of like 3 land and 3 removal spells and a Planeswalker, and Kyle then draws a lightning bolt off the top, Kyle would win. It's not impossible.
No,
We
yeah.
just saw Chris draw the second Seeds of Innocence.
Okay, we found a Force of Will and we found a Swords to Plowshares. I'm not sure if we have a creature that we can Swords to Plowshares. Well, there it is. There's Snapcaster. That takes us like critically, it would take us to 4.
Mhm.
There he goes up. Nothing. Okay. And now this is basically, I would guess, Kyle, just like from the top, I play every single spell I draw. I think there's no value in trying to like MS critical mass or something. Maybe if you feel like you're up against a bunch of Force of Negations that would need to be hardcast or something, but I think this is the right call.
All right. Well, Zach Allen trying to determine which way he wants to approach this.
Hardcasting Force? I mean, wait, why are we not hardcasting Force? What am I missing? Oh, that makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
we want to get our beta into play. We want to be able to eventually close out the game, which is like
Mhm.
a really big deal against Burn.
Sure.
Down
I
to
do.
1 life.
I do feel like Zach Allen has maybe erroneously played that additional fetch land because now a price of progress actually would have to be countered. Whereas if the fetch land had not been played, it wouldn't
Hmm,
matter.
true. I wonder if he's gonna attack and then minus.
You can't. The samurai has vigilance. It doesn't tap.
Oh. Oh, too bad. Okay. In that case, I guess we're just gonna try to close out the game as quickly as
Mhm.
possible. I
Yeah.
mean,
Looks
it's kind of awkward now because now we would need to Swords to Plowshares our own creature, and then Snapcaster Swords to Plowshares the Snapcaster to stay alive against a burn spell, unless that one card that I'm seeing there, second from the right, is a Force.
I think it is a force. And yeah, I think Zach's got this pretty well covered. I think hardcast force here seems just fine. Kyle's deck has rewarded with him with a couple of bolts here, but I mean, I guess Zach can't Snapcaster a force. He's 1 mana short. Oh, or he could just get a new hand.
I think at this point, you probably even wanna like do the thing with the Snapcaster where you Swords to Plowshares the Snapcaster, and then you might as well restock by basically making your opponent skip their turn,
Right.
based on doing on their draw step.
Yeah, the fact that the Days Undoing actually nails a card each time is really nice. Nope, doesn't go for it.
Rise of Progress? Oh, I don't know.
Okay. Well, that has to be dealt with some way or another. I guess the fairy could just bounce it.
Yeah. Thing is, if the fairy bounces it, then it's still gonna come down next turn anyway.
Yeah.
It's only a temporary solution, really.
Mhm.
I mean, the most annoying thing about Eidolon is that it can block, but I guess your creatures are gonna grow out um, of Eidolon range anyway.
Right. So the
Okay.
next turn, Zach has a potential attack for. Okay, Eidolon's in there. Zach can put another counter on the other samurai. Yeah, Eidolon gets bounced.
Actually, that's so convenient because now you can Days Undoing on the draw step and you still deal with
They get
Eidolon.
both. Yeah, you're right. That is very cool. 6 damage comes across. This will be the last turn for Kyle, and as we know, he's not going to actually get a main phase with a card in hand.
Wait, is he down to 4? Is that real?
Yeah.
Okay, that was pretty quick. I mean, if it's down to 4, then and we have Days Undoing in hand, then the game is over.
Right.
There's nothing you can draw. And now we Days Undoing on the draw step. Wait, is there no Days Undoing? Okay.
Oh, Teferi minus this turn.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. It's not like a permanent effect. You have to +2. Okay. Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, that turns off Snapcaster Mage. I guess it doesn't matter. And now here comes, what is it?
Skewer the
Skewer the
critics. And Zach can now wait. Oh yeah, because now he's 3 power creatures, so he can swords a samurai and go to 4. That will work. This ended up being closer than I thought it would, but Zach Allen will take this one down. It looks like at 1 life.
It's a little bit awkward, but
Yeah.
he's gonna make it work, I'm pretty sure.
All right. Zach will end up at 1. I guess Kyle sort of has another turn because now he can block. Uh, okay, another Swords of Plowshares.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess that's
All right, this is.
gonna do it.
I would think. Okay, there's the Sapcaster Mage. Yeah,
Yeah,
now
that's enough damage, right?
Zach can untap and win. Okay, so Zach Allen will put a counter
That was
Sapcaster and take down game 1. So that was, I mean, that ended up being fairly close, and Kyle's draw was pretty trashy with his double price of progress. So we'll see if we can do a little bit better in game 2. We are in the replay, so let's just go ahead and roll game 2 and see if Kyle is able to even this up with Zach Allen. So we're
Oh,
gonna.
is he has a Hydroblast in the sideboard? I wonder if that's gonna come in clutch.
All right, so we're gonna play this one a little faster now, as apparently the top 8 is getting closer to being ready to go. But here we have the creature that I was looking for. So the players are on the way to fairy revealed. But yeah, just is getting in there with some early damage. Okay, prismatic ending takes it down, but at least it got through for 2.
That's probably gonna be Eidolon now, right?
Yeah.
That's
All right.
I mean, that's one of the most ideal starts you can get. Like we talked about, right? In the early game, you want to get your creatures down.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Mm-hmm.
here we trade for the force and probably some. Oh, force for force. Okay, sure.
Yeah, last game it seemed like Zach was really struggling to make some early line drops, but then got it together, and then Kyle's somewhat ineffectual draws led to
I think
what.
Kyle bottled out all the price of progress, by the way.
I think that's likely. Yes. I mean, I'm not going to say it's a guarantee, and we do see Zach starting with a Tundra here, which actually just the fact that Zach started with a Tundra should also clue Kyle in that the mana is not flowing for Zach Allen right now.
Yeah, I'm looking at the sideboard right now. He's got 4 Red Elemental Blast, which probably come in, and 2 Pyrostatic Pillar to add some more permanent base damage
Okay.
to the board. Yeah, so that's certainly something that will bring in over price of progress.
Especially with how they performed in the first game. All right, so Zach completes his cantripping. Kyle, what do we have? We have another Goblin Guide.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yes,
Goblin
indeed.
Guide gets in there, and then you can skewer the critics right afterwards. Like this is a pretty decent start out of Kyle, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I like where this is going. I
And
mean, this is one of
still,
the more critical turns for Zach now because right now, as things stand, he might even die next turn, depending on like whether there's going to be stuff like Fire Blast, etc. Yeah,
It is conceivable. There is a fair amount of burn in Kyle's hand. There is a Days Undoing in Zach's hand, which is not great without Hull Breacher or Narset. So we'll see how this turns out. Goblin Guide attacks in, finds, I believe that's a Supreme Verdict. And burn spells will maybe just keep flowing.
just gonna do 3 to the top. Wait, is that down to 6 life already? Ooh.
Yes. Yes, it is.
And we got rid of 2 forces, so I mean, is there a third force in hand? I think he also has like a one of spare pierce. There's ways to stop the bleeding. Ideally, right now you do something like Snapcaster, flashing back. I don't know what have you, or just like straight up Swords to Plowshares. But Zach's gotta do something rather soon.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes
Well,
the Snapcaster.
Snapcaster to block is pretty strong. Snapcaster
That's
with
fortification.
Oh yeah, so Zach's got everything pretty well covered here. Trade off with Goblin Guide.
Is there a second Goblin Guide in hand?
I believe there was, but since the Supreme Verdict was revealed and Teferi Plus, Kyle couldn't afford to just run it out there.
True. On the other hand, like there's some value in Zach completely tapping out for a turn. But yeah, I guess if you are playing against control, you feel you can afford to play the long, or not the long game, but the mid game, right? So you're gonna
Yeah.
send another Goblin Guide.
Well, it wouldn't be Zach tapping out for the turn because it would be on Kyle's turn, which would be the
Oh,
problem.
Teferi, like why did they
Right.
print it? That card is so annoying.
All right. So post
You get
combat.
like a lot of viewers on YouTube if you made a video like top 10 most annoying legacy cards ever.
Oof. You might have a lot of arguments on getting it down to 10 cards.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, right? People love
Yeah.
arguing.
Yeah, that's true. They do enjoy that. All right,
It's
Volcanic
like
Island.
cards.
So Zach Allen is vulnerable to Price of Progress this game, but probably intuiting correctly that Kyle would have boarded them out, so he doesn't need to worry about them. Also, I guess at 2 life, the second dual land doesn't matter because the first one kills you anyway.
That's true. Okay, so we find this. We can take out the Goblin Guide, but then we're sitting on 2 forces. We're sitting on 2 forces. We can do it.
All right, Goblin Guide in.
The force on
Another
top.
force. Yep. Sorcerer's Seed Prismatic Ending takes that down. I mean, there are
Okay, this
burn
card
spells.
kills you. You gotta have a force. Okay, we
Yep.
got the force of negation. Next burn spell. This card kills you. Do you? No, no,
Ooh.
next burn spell. Oh, this is not where we want to go. Kyle, please present
Yep.
more burn.
Now we're back to this again. Kyle's next draw step will just get gobbled up.
Couldn't
Days
have phrased it better.
Undoing.
Now we're back to this again.
Yeah, yeah.
Because this is literally how it feels.
This is so harsh. So Zach will get 7 new cards. Kyle will get 0, and it passes to Zach's turn. I mean, not that it matters. Kyle's turn is over regardless of whether the game enforced the rules or not. 2 life with a full set of cards and 2 planeswalkers.
You know what I would love to see? I mean, it
What's that?
doesn't work right now. Barbarian Ring. It's just like drop a
Wow.
Barbarian Ring. Like you can have all the forces in the world. I don't care. We don't have Threshold right now. And that could be a sub game of its own, right? Zach trying to keep kind of Threshold.
Just Days Undoing to keep them off threshold over and over again. All right,
Yeah.
there's a Wandering Emperor. So this is going to play out basically the same as game 1.
I wonder how many times Kyle has been in exactly this spot where I feel like I just wish I could deal a little bit more damage.
Yeah, probably about 6,000. I think this is the life of the burn player. You either win or you get this close.
And pass. Yeah. Okay, it looks like none of the players wants to do anything here now.
Yeah, what is this?
Cards
This
on
is
the table.
usually what happens when a judge gets involved. There's I don't even have a guess as to what the problem is right here. So, okay, Days Undoing
Okay.
with Teferi ended the turn.
I don't know why we have like a graveyard and exile in a Days Undoing pile. Maybe that's it.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe there was some timing issue. I don't know. It looks to be all fine now.
Yeah, so Wandering Emperor, which was what we thought was going to happen, just comes down after a minute of conversation. And now we're back to where we were the previous game with the Planeswalker battalion and then some samurai that are going to slowly grow once there's a pair of them.
This is
And we
really
have,
legacy Super Friends. Like, who needs creatures when you can have
yeah,
all the planeswalkers in a
right.
week?
Same clock as last game 2, then 5, then 6, and then probably dead.
What is this? Oh, the Frag
Well,
Vortex. That would be actually, it wouldn't be speed of it. Yeah, it would be speed of it resolve because we can't Teferi it before it kills us. But yeah, that's not happening. Imagine if this was an Exquisite Firecraft, the game would be over.
yeah.
Actually, would it though? Do we have enough instant sorceries in the yard? I don't even know.
Well, we don't have a yard right now, so yeah, I guess not. All right, so here is that a Hull Breacher in addition to the Samurai Squadron. So the clock's actually 8, which means next turn it could be 9.
Okay, apparently we're very clear now about what we're going to do with Teferi. Maybe that was the confusion on the previous turn. Go to 6. And I think he's sitting on.
Oh,
Ah,
this is another Day's Undoing,
yeah,
and
that
to
doesn't work.
gobble up the draw.
I was like, wait, I don't want to play this game anymore. I thought draw 7 was like a vintage thing.
And there it is. All right, so Zach Allen does defeat Kyle Veronda. Okay, so that concludes the Swiss matches. All right.